Means never, ever, ever give up. Chicken Soup for the Soul was rejected by 144 publishers. 144 publishers said, we don't want to publish a collection of short stories. The title's stupid, Chicken Soup for the Soul, what does that mean? People don't buy collections of short stories. There's never been, successful chain of doing that. So literally, we spent 14 months trying to find a publisher. And we'd go to New York with our agent, and eventually our agent gave us the book back and said, I can't sell this. So we went to the National Booksellers Association convention down in Anaheim. We went from booth to booth to booth for 3 days. And there were 4,000 publishers represented there. And we go, would you publish our book? Would you publish our book? Would you publish our book? And we got no, 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 no. It was late on the third day that a little publisher from Florida, after we'd gotten over 144 rejections, said, we'll read it. And then they said, well, how many copies do you think we'll sell? After they said, yeah, we'll buy it. A couple weeks later, they said, we'll publish it. And they said, well, maybe 20,000 if we're lucky. And we said, our goal is to sell 1.5 million in a year and a half. Now, have you ever told someone your dream and had them laugh out loud at you? Now, if we had given up after 100 publishers had said no, I wouldn't be standing here today. Wouldn't have happened. And so you've got to be willing to persevere. Because we didn't take no. See, when the world says no, you say next. So what we have is this endless possibility, but you have to persevere. It's as if the universe tests our commitment. And so today we have 147 titles in print. We sold over 115 million copies. We're in 47 languages. And over $1 billion worth of Chicken Soup for the Soul books have been sold worldwide. So if you're willing to decide what you want, believe it's possible, consciously envision the future, feel the feelings of what it would feel like if you had achieved this goal. You can have anything, and then you take action, both obvious actions and inspired actions. You can do anything.
You don't pay a lot of attention to reviews and those kind of things?
Well, you're always affected by opinion, but the more opinions there are of you, the less I look at them, because I just can't live my life based upon what other people think about me. So I can't concern myself too much with what other people think. It's just not healthy. I don't think I could continue to do what I do if I was constantly worrying about what somebody thought about it.
Every time you lose at something, you're one step closer to winning the next time. The difference between successful people and not successful people are people give up. The hardest thing in life to learn is to lose. Winning's easy. You win, you're happy, you get a high five, your friends are happy. It's your ability to take a loss, get up the next day, dust yourself off, and keep going. I have lost at everything you can imagine. Seriously, I have been beat up and put down, and everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for me, but I just kept going.
In the acting business, you fail all the time. Early on in my career, I auditioned for a part in a Broadway musical. Perfect role for me, I thought. I didn't get the job. But here's the thing. I didn't quit. I didn't fall back. I walked out of there to prepare for the next audition, and the next audition, and the next audition. I prayed. I prayed, and I prayed. But I continued to fail, and fail. So you will catch a break, and I did catch a break. Last year, I did a play called Fences on Broadway. Won the Tony Award. But here's the kicker. It was at the Court Theater. It was at the same theater that I failed that first audition 30 years prior.
It's your ability to take a loss, get up the next day, dust yourself off, and keep going. I have lost at everything you can imagine. Seriously, I have been beat up and put down, and everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for me, but I just kept going.
For those of you that have experienced some hardships, don't give up on your dream. No one could have convinced me by holding on, by continuing to push forward, by continuing to run toward my dream, that one day I would have my own talk show. It's a long shot, ladies and gentlemen, from Liberty City, an abandoned building on a floor, never knowing my mother or father. It's a long shot. Being here with you today in this dome in Atlanta, it's a long shot. No college training, labeled educable, mentally retarded, but I kept running toward my dream.
I think I have an insatiable appetite to make things and share things with the world. I have, I'm compelled beyond a reasonable doubt to do what I do. I don't think that it can be a reasonable or logical choice. I think at a certain point you're compelled to do it. It's too painful, too brutal, too neurotic of a path to take. So I think that compulsion has to be there. It has to be something that you can doubt all the time, but deep down inside you know that this is something you have to do. And I think I've dealt with some of the adversity, some of the challenges, of which we've had many. I started a band and the world laughed at me. And we've had an incredible life as a result. So if I had listened to the choir, to the chorus of everyone, I would have stopped. Because that's what people want you to do. For some reason, some people would rather kill your dream than see you succeed. I don't know what that is, I think it's important to be stubborn and to follow your dreams no matter what.
I want to do something I've never done before, and I don't know how, but I can imagine it. I want to engage in the unknown. I truthfully want to pursue the unknown, and in the pursuit of the unknown, something comes to realization, and I'm never prepared for it. So when I set out to do what I set out to do, I set out to do the impossible. Everybody told me, you're nuts, you can't do that, you can't do that. And that's also consistent with all entrepreneurs. There's always a legion of people who will tell them, you can't do that, and even if you could, why would you? There's so many better things.
Well, the biggest struggle, man, was just getting around other people that would say I could do it. I mean, that's the biggest struggle. Just, you get around one guy says, yeah, you can do it, and then you talk to him tomorrow, and he's like, no, dude, this is... there's so few people telling you to do it. You know what there is a lot of? Save your money, protect yourself, conserve, don't spend, don't take risk. Taking risk is the new way to be risk adverse. So, the biggest struggle for me was my family, and the people closest to me was the biggest struggle. Every time I went out to do another deal, everybody told me, you don't need to do that, man. It wants to be accelerated on, and then you got somebody in the back seat saying, hey, be careful. Nobody likes a backseat driver, okay? So they're sitting there, they're putting mental pressure on the brakes when you're trying to accelerate.